So Helen Jennings, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dawn.
Yeah, it's so lovely to be with you again in your gorgeous setting. Thank you for being here and for taking the time to share with me and anybody else who's watching just your kind of harmonizing journey. What I'd like to talk about today, because I'm aware of the fact that the program's had quite an impact on your life. So
Absolutely.
what I'm keen to explore is, what did this program do? How did it impact you? How's it impacted your business? How's it impacted your relationships? How's it impacted the way you coach? How's it impacted the fabric of your life? Because I believe that it has. So I'm gonna begin just by kind of inquiring as to, there's so many coaching programs out there. There's so many people out there sharing different methodologies. What was it when you connected with me that maybe resonated with you, or where was the hope when you connected? What were you looking for?
I think initially it was I really needed to heal. I just lost my brother a couple of months earlier, so I was in a very deep state of grief, and I believe he was sent to me. I've always said that. I think it was you appeared at exactly the right time. So I think there was a higher power definitely that brought you to me, and I needed to heal, and that was where it all began. You will probably remember, as will most of the other coaches that were on the course, that I was very emotional throughout the training, and I think it allowed me to really kind of let go and actually to share and share in a very safe space how I was feeling. So that was where it all began. But from that, it then very much became a part of actually, looking at how I could look after myself and the self-care practices that I are now daily. I have a daily routine, and it wherever I am, it is part of my day. And from that is just the transformation I feel within myself. Very much I feel that I'm living from my heart now, as opposed to listening to what's going on up here all the time. It's changed massively. I feel like a completely different person to who I was 5 months ago, and a much happier and contented and incredibly blessed. I'm very grateful for the life that I'm now living. And that's the truth.
Okay, so for someone that's watching this, because it's a coaching program, it's about building your business, it's about changing your style of coaching. That's what I'm talking to people about doing. But one of the things that I talk about in the structure of how I put harmonizing together is, first of all, as an individual, you have to heal. You have to deal with what is happening in the core of your being. It's almost, if you want to manifest this amazing life, if you want to create your dreams, first you've got to deal with the debris behind the scenes. So you've talked about number one, healing, and level two was about bringing in the energy that you acquired once you actually, and I want to go into the healing process a bit more in a second, but the next level was for you to go into building up the energy, which gives you the power, it gives you the confidence, it gives you the resilience to move forward. And then you go into manifesting, which you did in abundance, which is so exciting. And I really want to get onto that and how relationships and all sorts of beautiful things have happened to you since. But let's go back to the healing, because, I don't talk about this program fundamentally as being a healing program, yet I know that from, my delegates and my students that this happens. What do you think? How did the healing come around? I mean, because, we're not sitting in a circle doing energy work. We're doing exercises life evaluations, we're working with the inner child. What was it for you in particular, do you think? Or maybe a couple of exercises just to give people an idea. What was it that started to shift you from that place of really deep grief and pain into a different vibration, a different energy? What was it, do you think?
I think it was really about letting go of the pain that I was feeling, and really just allowing myself to actually remember all the good times. And so the inner child work that we did was massive for me, and I think it was for everybody actually. And remembering who I was before, obviously, all the conditioning and all the belief systems that are almost placed on me, and that actually accepting myself, and knowing that I'm okay exactly as I am, and being comfortable with who I am. And I think a biggie for me was actually, it was kind of knowing that every situation that is kind of we're given is learning from it. And I don't know if I would have come on the program if I hadn't been at the place in my life where I was. I just know that I'm very grateful because it has changed everything for me. I'm not going to say that I don't still feel grief, but I am more comfortable with my grief, and for that, it just makes things more. I wouldn't say easy is maybe not the right word to use, but it's I have very fond memories, rather than feeling guilt or the pain that literally was crushing me is how I describe it. And it's a positive. I feel in a very positive place. And that is just, it's great because that then impacts on everything. So it's kind of like knowing that where I am right now is where I'm meant to be. And it's flow. I do feel that life is flowing as it should be now.
Beautiful. So I'm wondering if this happened when you've been grieving for a period of time. The grief, we know this sounds so clinical, and it's not meant to. But where our attention goes, energy goes. So if we're focusing on the grief, eventually the grief and the pain becomes so big.
Yeah.
And it feels to me like almost like soul recovery.
Yeah.
By identifying who you were again, remembering who you were again. And then these exercises that we always do about the difficulties of the past and how they grow us rather than how they take us down. By accumulating, recovering, pulling back that information again, it was almost that could start to become the dominant energy in your being. Is that kind of maybe?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've never had this conversation, and it's interesting for me. It's like, well, what happened there? So
yeah, I think that it was almost like it's for me, I felt a level of responsibility that I wasn't able to save my brother, and by letting go of that and accepting that it wasn't my fault, it was nobody's fault, it just was. And that knowing that actually that living from my heart, as opposed to allowing everything, all the thoughts just going through my head all the time. When I let go of that, when I actually let go of that, and I did that during the 5 days, it was so freeing. And everybody noticed it. Everybody around me noticed the difference in me. I think people could see that I was smiling through my eyes, that I was, that I was actually it was almost like almost like a bit of a recovery process for me. And that is that knowing that actually it's okay, everything is okay, meant so much. You know, it was a massive shift, rather than, you know, so for me it was a lot of, there was a lot going on with the mindset of how I was operating, and changing that made such a difference.
You've moved into the deepest acceptance of what, so what I'm hearing is you moving into the deepest acceptance of what is, which is what we always need to do, because what is what is, and it can't change.
Yeah.
And also this transition from the head to the heart, which we hear about all the time, because that's what the coaching program's about. It's moving from this place, because the head tells us so much. It talks a great story. The heart feels the truth.
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything to help your brother.
No.
You couldn't have done anything. The heart knew that.
Yeah.
The head could come up with the chatter, but
yeah.
the heart knew that. So by practicing coming into the heart, you come into a different level of awareness about everything in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like you made that real switch. And you made that switch, you know, by the end of the program, you made that switch in lots of different parts of your life as well. So energetically, you made a massive shift on the program. What started to change? Talk to me about your coaching and the business, and how business changed after doing this program.
I think obviously I'm a personal development coach, but that has shifted. And I think I always knew it was going to shift, because before I kind of decided on my niche, it was always well-being. It was always there, and it was I was, you know, backwards and forwards. And I mean, I'd spent 15 years as an HR manager before I went into coaching, and I love people. And I've always had this desire to want to support people. I'm not looking to save people, but I want to support people. And there is a natural kind of nurturing instinct within me that is just there. It's part of me. It's like it's a very big part of me. So what's happened with the coaching is the well-being has completely overtaken the personal development. I now would refer to the personal development as personal growth. And because that is what has happened for me. So when I'm now meeting new clients, when we're having the discovery calls, it's really interesting, because some of them don't know about the harmonizing. So I do talk about that. And it's interesting that actually that is where I would say 90% of them really need to start. And just by talking to them about what the process is and what it involves, it's like that knowing is already there for them as well. So it's shifted massively. And the harmonizing is, for me, is really the direction. Well, you know, I've told you before, it's like that is, it feels so right. It just feels that it's taken me in a different direction, and actually to be able to support people to live their life fully and comfortably, because for me that's the biggest change. And actually to actually know themselves, to reconnect back with who they really are, that's the transformation for me.
And I think then, you know, you're talking about your personal development coaching, and this has exactly been my journey as well, because I used to help people, you know, grow, build their self-esteem, build their self-confidence, grow, manifest whatever they wanted to manifest. Now I recognize, like you, that, you know, we got to go to the core. We've got to get rid of the emotional debris. We've got to build up energy, and then we can manifest and create. But if we don't do that core work, the core well-being work, then the manifestation either won't happen or it'll be really difficult to achieve. So it's almost like what we're doing is putting a rocket underneath the whole manifestation process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And actually it makes it quite effortless at some point. It's like you going through the program, I don't remember on the program you talking about, in fact, definitely you weren't talking about getting a new relationship. You weren't talking about changing the direction of your business. We weren't really talking goals because we don't do that on the program.
No.
All we do is we get the alignment in place.
Yeah.
We get the system healed, the nervous system to slow down, somebody energized, powered up, and then the rest happens.
Yeah, exactly. It does. It does. It does. And it's, for me, what it's given me is so much courage to actually, to just step out there and just live my life the way I want to live it. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. It's like, I don't worry anymore. I just know that everything will be.
So the trust, which is a big part of the
Yeah.
program as well, you've obviously really grasped that, the trust in life and the bigger natural unfolding of life. You're embracing that.
Yeah,
And
totally.
so you're with what is, you're aligned in your mindset, and now your job, your work is, you know, you're gaining more clarity in the way that you want to work. You've become clear about the way you want to work with people. And other parts of your life as well have changed.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
talk to me. I remember on the program, I remember there was a little conversation about relationships. What happened with relationship, you know, from being on the program to when you left?
Well, I fell in love, basically, after 7 years of being very determined to be single, because I'd had so many awful relationships. And yeah, I've fallen in love with who I feel is a male version of me. And yeah, it's incredible. It's a journey that I know is a lifelong journey for us now. You know, we're 6 months in, and yeah, it's incredible. It's very, very special, very special. So, and he is very connected to self as well. He has very strong self-awareness, and yeah, we love doing the same things. You know, it's unconditional. It's just beautiful. I mean, I think I drive all my friends mad. I mean, they're very happy for me, obviously, but it was, yeah, yeah, he's amazing. So I am totally content.
And again, do you think something changed for you on the program?
Definitely.
Quickly after it, didn't it?
Yeah, because it was almost like it was letting go of the past. Finally, letting go of the past, and rather than, you know, just letting life happen in front of me, you know, and, you know, just kind of like the mechanical kind of day by day of just things happening. It actually having the courage to step out there and go, do you know what, Helen? You deserve
all of this.
All of this.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so from that, so your story just sounds like a story of letting go into, so there was healing.
Yeah.
Involved letting go into deep acceptance of what is.
Yeah.
And as a result, business, do you manifest in business? Do you feel like, again, you know, do you feel that clients come to you, or do you work really hard for them? How does that work? Or has the program impacted that at all? I don't know.
I think my tribe is building just organically. It was interesting. I went to a social function on Sunday, the first one, where I was out with friends that I haven't seen, and, you know, lots of people that I know but I don't know that well. The amount of people that came up to me and wanted to talk to me about the harmonizing process it blew my mind. It was incredible. So I have quite a lot of calls to make, which I'm very excited about. I start working with a lady in Switzerland next week. So yeah, it's amazing, and I know that the harmonizing is my future. I know where I'm taking it. You know, I know what's
where that is. Tell me the big picture.
Well, the big picture is, you know, the next year I'm going to hone my skills and, you know, really be the best harmonizing coach I can possibly be, working one-to-one. And then I want to move on to groups, do group sessions. And somebody that I met obviously on the course, who I've become very, very friendly with. I think we just kind of were naturally drawn to each other. We want to do some work together. And then the dream, well, it's a dream that will happen. I will have my motorhome, and I will be running retreats in some very nice warm places. So I'm just waiting for my son to get a little bit older. He's 17. And then, so it's, that's the plan. You know, so I'm going to be moving around the world. And I will work either over Zoom one-to-one, because we've been able to do that, and everybody is so much more comfortable with it. And then I'm gonna be in some nice warm country.
And then one last question for you. What impact has the process had? I've been asking you about the impact it had on you. Talk to me about the impact that this process has had on clients that you've worked with. Have you seen changes in them?
Massive changes. I'm still obviously in contact with the clients that have completed the programme. We already have our quarterly review, that's in June. Confidence, massive. I mean, I actually had a message from one of my clients that finished the programme about a month ago, and she was going on her first date. She hasn't dated for over 10 years. She's been very much living within her masculine energies, and has really reconnected very much with her feminine. And I watched her blossom throughout the programme. It was incredible. It was beautiful. Another lady who was definitely stuff going on around her career, and also her body image, you know, her self-confidence, massive shifts there of how she feels. And the testimonials, they were beautiful. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see the impact that it has. You know, I mean, I am so grateful for you for sharing this, because it really is. I think everybody needs to go through this. Everybody needs to go through this program, because it has changed my life so that I am living my life now.
I sometimes think it should be available on the NHS, almost as a routine.
Absolutely.
Or every couple of years,
you
do it just to get your life in order, to get all the debris out of the way so that you can keep moving forward. But going back just a step or two, you know, obviously you are getting these results with these clients because you're a natural. You've grabbed the process, you've embraced it, you live it. It's in every cell of your body. And I think your clients are going to be so blessed to work with you, because you get it to your core. You get it to the core. And, you know, as a result of that, you will just take them through this 10-step process, and their lives will change, Helen. You will change their lives. Well, you're doing it already. But well, I just wish you all the very best. I mean, I am going to keep you so close by my side.
I'm staying close.
Gorgeous. You know, getting to know you and, you know, having you on the training, and then it just feels like, you know, the community, we're going to really the community. That's the next step, is really growing things within Harmonizing, and I'm going to bring you right into the heart of that. So
I can't wait. I can't. Well, you know that, you know, I am definitely not moving anywhere away from you. I am staying on your tail. You know that.
I'm happy for you to be on my tail. Thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely talking to you. Thank you for being so honest and transparent. And I just really hope that your words can give confidence to maybe some other people who feel that coaches that are not living their full potential, they're not living in their truth, they're not living in their heart, they're not clear where they're going. You know, if these individuals, you know, need to make a shift or a change, hopefully we can help them do that on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they can do it for other people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous. All right, Helen, thank you so much for your time, and I shall see you again very soon. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure, Dawn. Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.